Blessings and welcome forward back right here. Reasons at the Tree of Life. I'm Jerome Sage Butler. I want to give thanks to all the brethren, Brother Rahman, Celia Media, you know what I mean, representing Brother Bob the Mystic, you know what I mean, Andy, Was and Chin, you know, they're down there. So we just want to say thank you for subscribing, liking the page and following our reasoning. To the brother in Russia, you know, that is liking the videos and wanting to translate it into Russian. I do give thanks, you know what I mean? And for anyone else who wants to translate the videos and be able to, you know, get people in your zone of the world to understand what we're saying, because we are in English and Patois. I know some people don't always understand or you speak other languages. So, you know, contact Celia Media, you know what I mean? So we can, you know, make a partnership and we can work this out. I just want to thank you also, you know, for sharing the videos amongst your friends too, because that is helping us to expand our mission of advancing the company of Celia Media and getting you to understand the products and the services that we want to offer as spiritually and Christian-minded individuals. Because this is life and we know that we are in the world, but we're not of the world. So you're giving unto Caesar what is Caesar's, and unto God the things that are God's, right? Or unto the economics and the banks what is theirs, and unto your family and your community and God what is theirs, right? My current topic is going to be about self-acceptance. This one is very special to me, and I'll tell you why. A friend of mine asked me to talk about this, so I have to big up T Nitro. T Nitro isn't here right now, but we were watching a friend of ours going through a particular episode, right? And on the way home, we were talking about it, right? And we were saying what affects a lot of even Rasta and spiritually minded people is a lack of self-acceptance. My God, I said it, a lack of self-acceptance. You find that many people start out on the spiritual journey with a belief that there's something intrinsically wrong with them. And because they start out on the spiritual journey with this intrinsic belief that there's something wrong with them and they need to be fixed, their journey of spirituality isn't one of happiness and joy. It is one usually of a whole lot of discomfort and displeasure and dissatisfaction, because they're always busy trying to fix themselves and not in love with the notion and the reality of who they are. They're constantly dissatisfied. Self-acceptance is one of the most important things that we should always be in tune with. It should always be our way of being. But unfortunately, it isn't. Our family conditions are the root cause sometimes of our lack of self-acceptance, because sometimes in a family, what mother and father had in mind for their children and how they intended you to manifest isn't probably the way you came out. I.e., case in point, maybe you're a girl, your father and your mother wanted a boy because maybe they had 4 other girls or 5 other girls, and then here you come being 6. Now the 4 and the 5 other girls didn't have a problem with it, but you have a problem because you were the one that was expected to be a boy. And then sometimes stuff happens that your parents, they bought all boys clothes, and I know lots of people know what I'm talking about. They bought all boys clothes, and then you had, as a little girl, had to wear those boys clothes because they wanted a boy, and they dressed you that way, and that attitude of saying, well, you've got 5 sisters or 4 sisters, use a little tomboy, use their little boy. A lot of these things mess up our internal views of ourselves and end up giving us these unsettling views of who we are. A lot of human beings struggle with this, and then they enter on the spiritual plane seeking for some kind of divine acceptance. But all of that starts with the self. I want to say this. On my platform, I'm not promoting any kind of orientation, or I'm not pulling away from seeing people as beyond orientations. But I would say this. There is a lot of young and growing men and women who grow up in families with members of their families being in different orientations, belief systems and attitudes, to the point that it has had adverse effects upon their own psychological well-being. I want to say to those individuals, if you find yourself in a situation where your parents aren't the quintessence of what parents ought to be or what we're told parents are, both on the right, on the wrong side, I'm saying to you, your conditions does not have to define your eventual outcome in life, or your outcomes, or your place, or your position, or your journeys through life. Accept it is that you are in this environment, that this is how you came into the world, this is how your current situation in the world is, and you do not have to perpetuate it to feel like you are belonging. You truly can cultivate your own self-image, not dependent upon these socializations. Be strong and know. Accept your environment. Accept the parentage you have. Accept the situations your parents find themselves in, and the situation you find yourself in as a result of that. Whether it be your living conditions, and how it is that when you live in this zinc fence hut with the one shoes to go to school, and you see children who you deem to have so much and you have so little, and then that makes you begin to feel inadequate, because you feel that because you have this little, it makes others look down upon you and give you a start at the back of the line versus closer up with those who are said to be the ones deserving of the opportunity. Don't let inadequacy take root in you. Don't make this self-doubt batter you down. The comparative nature of human beings is too stimulated in this age. We're too comparative. Too much comparative analysis in vain stuff. Don't let the fact that this kid got all these gadgets and these fancy toys, or he's bought a second car, or she's going to Harvard or Yale or UWI or Edna or UTech, don't let that crumble your sense of who you are. Then you begin to doubt who you are. You begin to search every literature written by man to find acceptance. And all it will do is affirm what you're already feeling inside you. So start to feel more in line with truth, more in line with what is true about you. When you don't feel that good, get to know who you really are. See what it is within you that's making you feel not good. And I bet if you examine it, you will truly see the reasons why you're not feeling good are as a result of the thoughts you've been holding about the situation, the circumstances you've been experiencing, and how it is that these experiences are being promoted by those around you, and how it is that you feel inadequate because you're not the quintessence, meaning you're not fulfill these ideas around you to the essence. So people are yapping, they're talking, and so you know you're feeling less in yourself, you're lessening yourself, you're battering yourself down, you're beating yourself down, you're doubting yourself, and then later on you want to have the gifts of what self-assuredness has done, what self-acceptance has created. No, you want to be, confident and walk out with pride. You won't be able to, because you have not accepted yourself. You'll be on a false balance. You'll be on a pendulum swinging from one extreme to another. This confidence you want will genuinely start when you begin to accept yourself for who you genuinely are, and see that the socialization around you doesn't have to become you. You are undefined, you are limitless, and if you allow the experiences to define you and then become your reality, you can then see how being in a crooked environment will make you crooked. But as you follow the word of the great Solomon, he says, who can make straight what the Most High has made crooked, and who can make crooked what the Most High has made straight? So you must know yourself and truly know what's happening inside your soul. And I know there's many people who are traveling through many persuasions and attitudes, and a lot of times you know that it was peer pressure or group pressure or social or environmental or society pressure that made you take these oaths and made these acts to what you thought would have been a better life, and now you know it's not a better life. So now you know what you ought to do. I know it's not easy, I know it takes a lot of strength, but you got to do it because it's your life and it matters to you. And your generation that's coming after you, it matters to them too. So if you want to be that true example to your children and show your children that they should not be caught in these ruts or in these designs because of fear, and even making a mistake don't mean that you're condemned forever. You should act upon your repentance. You should act upon the true reciprocity that has come to your soul through experience. You don't have to be that. You don't have to be that lie. I'm telling you the truth. I'm not BSing you. You don't have to be that lie. And you don't have to yield to the energy field of that strong feeling that's telling you that this is who you are and this is what is going on and this is what is going to happen and this is what has to happen. You don't have to yield to that, no matter how intense it is. You can resist, you can stand up, you're undefined. Don't let anything or anyone define you. Experience you for you, and then you begin to see what's genuine in you and make the right decisions for your whole well-being, because when you have been experienced in life, then you're going to begin to regret the mistakes you've made in the past, and they'll come back to haunt you. Look at yourself, truly. I mean, don't just look at me, I mean, look at yourself, genuinely. I mean, I'm you too, right? But I mean, really look at you. Your attitudes, your perceptions, they are what you are, and they are how you are. So when the perceptions are not in tune with the true nature, you're not going to be happy. Trust in yourself. Don't use the less a measure to represent you. Remember what I said, limitless. So limitations can't define your awesome gift, awesome blessing. Accept yourself. Accept and know you truly are this gift. You truly are. God knows that you are. God made you so. God is reminding you through so much experiences, even through this and many other instances, to accept yourself and what you desire to be, that you think you're not yet, that you're only in desire, you will also be in manifestation. Stick to it. Be determined. You will get there. Accept you for you. Accept the environment around you. They also have a choice. The people that have made themselves the ways that they are and have followed the things that they're following and believe in them, they accepted that. They made it become them. You don't have to make it become you. And even if you had similar ideas and you've come to know differently, you can grow. New creatures in Christ we become when the spirit of goodness of the Christ rises up our chakras and alight our 7 candlesticks to the deeper divine self. Awake to the Christ in you. Greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. Greater is a divine source in you than the negative source or the negative force that is in the world. Greater is a negative source greater is a positive source that is in you than the negative source that is in the world. Right? So remember that this positive vibration that is inside you, accept it as you, and then you will begin to understand all the conditions in this world that is pressing against you will slowly slip away as your awareness of it gets greater. You get greater, it becomes smaller. And here it is. I'm going to say exactly what I wanted to say previously. I got it now. Greater is the source that is within you than the force that is within the world. It was resisting me hard to say. It was confusing me. But that's exactly how it is to be said. And it's exactly how I am saying it. Greater is the source that is in you than the force that is in the world. Accept yourself for this awesome sourcing of divine light, divine God, divine gift. Blessings to you. This has been Jerome Sage Butler, Raman Singh, and the whole tree of life, representing for life, reminding you you're a gift to life. Accept your gift of life.